Okay everyone, welcome back to the second sessions for today's lesson, and I hope you enjoyed the first video lesson. And in this session we will move on to the new subject, which is the writing break 3. And I hope you remember the lesson that you have previously studied in the writing break 3. We have looked at some of the important concepts of the unit 3. And in the unit 3, we study infinitive and gerund. So I hope you remember what is infinitive and what is gerund, isn't it? That's why it is in the review sections. And I would like you to think of what is infinitive and what is gerund. So can you find the answer here on the whiteboard? Sure, maybe you can find the answer, but let's clarify those answers all together. Okay? So let's look at the first question. What is infinitive? To answer this question, you need to look at the example here. Look at the sentence on the whiteboard. We have how many verbs do we have here? Want and speak. So there are two verbs. And you already know that the first verb here, the verb want, is the action verb, or we can call it the main verb in the sentence. How about speak? I want to speak to you. So speak here is an object of the verb want. But we cannot use two verbs close together like this. That's why we need the word to. So here, to speak is the infinitive, and it functions as the object of the verb want in this sentence. So here, infinitive refers to the verb that begin with to. Okay, good. Let's move on to the second question. What is gerund? What is gerund? So let's look at this second sentence. She is, so is the main verb in the sentence, which is to be. And singing, okay? Singing is the verb which end with ing. So this is an object of the verb to be, okay? Because she is interested in singing, in doing something. So this one is just the object of the sentence. So gerund refers to the verb that end with ing, and it functions as noun here in this case. Okay, very good. So in today's lessons, the important things that you need to know is how you can change the infinitive form into a negative form, and which prepositions that you can use with the gerund. So pay attention to this one. So let's look at the infinitive form. So here I try to sleep, which is the positive form. So how to form a negative form? I don't try to sleep. Yes, it can be, but if you try not to do something, I try not to sleep. Okay, so you try not to do something. Or I want you not to go. So you want somebody not to do something. Last but not least, I promise not to tell anyone. I promise, which is we have the verb here, which is the positive form. I want, I try, I promise, but you try not to do something, you want somebody not to do something, and you promise not to do something. So this is a negative form of infinitive. Again, it is not a negative form of the sentence. Okay, if it is a negative form of the sentence, it becomes I don't try to sleep, I don't want you to go, I don't promise to tell anyone, which is the opposite of this sentence. Okay, if you say I try not to sleep, means you try to stay awake. And if you say I don't try to sleep, which is you don't care whether you sleep or not. Okay, so these are the way that you can use an infinitive in a negative in a negative form as well. And notice the verb not is after the main verb and it stands in front of the infinitive form. Alright, how about the prepositions? What type of prepositions that you can use with gerund? So remember everyone, you can use specific preposition here with only the gerund. You cannot use this preposition with two infinitive. It will be wrong. Okay, so pay attention to this one, because when I was a student, I made mistake with this preposition. I was a little bit confused, and I don't want you to be confused because of this. So pay attention. The word talk about, you need to use talk about doing something. Let's say people are talking about skiing. People are talking about online learning. Okay, afraid of doing something. Look forward to doing something. So when I was a student, I was confused with this one. I say, I'm looking forward to meet you, which is, it makes sense, right? It sounds correct, but actually, grammatically, it is wrong. I am looking forward to meeting you. So to here is just a preposition. It is not the to infinitive. So don't be confused with this one. Remember, look forward to, which is a preposition. The other one is feel like doing something. Let's say the weather is good today. I feel like running along the road. Or you can say be interested in doing something. So here, interested in is a preposition. So be interested in doing something, not interested to do something. It is wrong. Okay. If you pay attention and you notice the example here, we use preposition here, interested in doing something. So again, everyone, to end the lesson today, let's recap what we have learned today. So there are two main things that you learn from the Writing Right 3 book. The first one is how you can use a negative form in an infinitive form. And the second one, you look at some of the prepositions that you can use with gerund. So I hope you pay attention to all this lesson, because sooner or later there will be some practice exercise. And let me remind you that your quiz 2 is approaching, so be ready and be prepared. Now everyone, that's it for today's lesson, and I hope to see all of you again in the next video tomorrow. Okay, goodbye.